I would like to call to order the annual meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners. It is Monday, May 12th, 2025. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Leahy?
Here.
Commissioner Frazier?
Here.
Commissioner Clark?
Here.
Commissioner Goebel?
Here.
Commissioner Murdoch?
Here.
Commissioner Duffy?
Present.
Commissioner Kozlowskis?
Here. First, this evening, we have a motion to amend the agenda so that we can include the oath of office. May I have a motion for 1.2?
So moved.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
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 So we will follow the agenda as amended, which is printed on the table over here. So next, we will move to the election of officers, which Interim Director Resnick will.
We gotta do
To
this.
swear
Sure,
people in,
yeah.
how dare you?
Swear folks in.
How dare you?
The administration, though, that we just amended
We
the
moved
agenda.
to amend the ability to have it, now we should have it. Yes, please. I will still hand that off to Director Resnick, right?
So first, we will swear in the newly elected commissioners. If you could stand in front of the dais, please. We'll swear you in. I do not know if this is a tradition here.
Gotta go stand in front of the microphone.
I don't know if it's a tradition here in Wilmette, but in the past, when we're swearing in new officers, I read you the code of ethics for being a board member. So the code of ethics, as a board member, I will attempt to represent the interests of all people in my community. I will not favor any particular special interest group. Not use my service on the board for any personal advantage or for the advantage of my friends and supporters. Keep privileged information confidential. Approach all board issues with an open mind. Do nothing to violate the trust of those who elect or appointed me to the board or those I serve. Focus my efforts on the mission of the agency and not on my personal goals. And never exercise authority as a board member except when acting in a meeting with the full board or as a delegate of the board. Do you understand this? And here's the oath. I state your name. Having been elected to the office of Commissioner of the Park District of Wilmette in the County of Cook, State of Illinois, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge my duties of the office of Commissioner according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Now that I'm legally allowed to continue.
Yes, now we-
Sworn in. We will move to agenda item 2.0, the election of officers, which Director Resnick will facilitate.
I open the floor for nominations for President of the Board.
I
move
nominate
to
Patrick
nominate
Duffy
Patrick Leahy.
as president.
There are two nominations, one for Patrick Leahy and one for Patrick Duffy. Is that what I understand? Do I have any other nominations? Hearing none, could I ask for a motion to close the nominations?
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by. Okay, I'm going to have a roll call vote then. The first nomination for Patrick Leahy.
I think we're going to have a discussion, as has been our past practice.
All right.
Okay? So, and how are we going to decide who we consider first, Leahy or Duffy?
I'm totally fine considering Duffy first.
Okay. Is that all right with you, Commissioner Duffy?
Absolutely.
Okay. Then we will vote first on Commissioner Duffy for President of the Board.
We will discuss.
Yes, we will discuss. All right. Well, I have a couple of comments. Other people, but all right. I guess I would just like to highlight first off that Commissioner Duffy is the current vice president. I personally do not believe that it's necessary that the vice president moves to the president. It would be certainly ironic if I felt differently. So, but I would point out that everyone on this board has elected Commissioner Duffy as vice president, not once, but twice, which is certainly a change from the last time that this came up. I would also point out that Commissioner Duffy has tremendous experience running public meetings, having done it here in his role as vice president and nearly 5 years as the chair of the zoning commission, the zoning board of appeals. And I think Commissioner Duffy has an excellent relationship with the village, given all of that past history and experience. And I think if we take a look at what we're going to be doing primarily over the next 2 years, obviously finding a new executive director is going to be the most important thing we do, but all of our, we're going to have a lot of interactions with the village, both in terms of the current police station and what that will ultimately look like, the temporary police station, which looks like it's going to be in our facility, and how we ultimately program Big Tree Lane. So I think it makes sense that Commissioner Duffy would be president.
Does anyone else have comments regarding the nominations?
Well, I obviously support it. I think what's really important as we move forward is two things. One, the relationship with the village that, from my experience, not only on the zoning board, but also from the public project that I helped create, that Elma Dunes that everybody's aware of. That was a big partnership between a lot of members of the village as well as the public. And then second, to reiterate the experience that I have in leadership roles, not just in the village, but also outside of the village. So I just think that it just makes sense for a natural transition from vice president to president. So thank you.
And I guess I would make one last comment. I would encourage any commissioner not intending to vote for Commissioner Duffy, but having voted for him twice as vice president, would provide a reason.
I would like to, I'll add a few comments. I have served for 2 years as president, and we've had some ups and downs in these 2 years. It's been a difficult, some difficult things we've been through and a lot of success. I appreciate Commissioner Duffy's partnership as vice president over these years, and we have certainly worked together, and every one of us on this board contributes something, and there's great value in having 7 minds and 7 perspectives. As a board, as you all have heard me say many times, I am extremely committed to good boardsmanship and doing our best to uphold the ethics and the code that we've all signed up for. Something that is important to all of us to remember is as we make decisions as a board, we lay aside our personal agendas and we will discuss and debate topics, and we might not always come to an agreement on a topic, and that's to be expected. We are better by having disagreements and by having discussion to bring us to conclusions. But once that decision has been made by a majority of the board, it is our board members' duty to get behind that decision and advance the future of the district. We might not have agreed with the decision it might not have been our preference, but once that decision has been made by the majority, our board moves forward so that our district moves forward. And that's why 7 of us have been elected. And so to me, that's a very important thing. We'll see where the votes land right now in terms of moving forward. But I would say that in that spirit, I would ask us all to just remember that we are allowed to have differences and we can still work together very well with differences. And once decisions have been voted on, we advance.
Does anyone else have anything to add before we vote on both candidates? Okay. Then I need a motion to elect Commissioner Duffy as president of the board. I have a motion.
I believe I moved already, but I'll move again.
I'll second.
I nominated. I didn't move.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
You're right. I
that
nominated.
the last motion was to close the nominations.
Yep, okay.
Okay, so Commissioner Murdoch motions. Is there a second?
Duffy,
Commissioner
second.
Duffy, second. Roll call is Commissioner Leahy,
No.
Commissioner Frazier,
No.
Commissioner Clark,
No.
Commissioner Goebel,
No.
Commissioner Murdoch.
Yes.
Commissioner Duffy,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowskis.
No.
Motion fails. May I have a motion to elect Commissioner Leahy as president?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Roll call is Commissioner Leahy?
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Murdoch?
No.
Commissioner Duffy?
No.
Commissioner Kozlowskis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
One
now
second,
you
then
will
we
switch
move.
places with.
To the vice president.
I'm just
Oh, I'm
organizing.
sorry. I'm sorry, you need a vice president. The president now takes his
Right.
seat, and
I can do it from here if it's easier.
Oh, you're going to facilitate the next one?
Right.
Yeah.
Problem.
No. Patrick, well, he's president at this point, so he does that. Absolutely.
okay, the president will entertain nominations for the office of vice president.
I nominate Patrick Duffy for vice president.
I nominate Allison Frazier for vice president.
You can ask if the motion, nomination, for the nominations, any other nominations?
No.
May we have a motion to close the nominations?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments? Any discussion?
Yeah, just, I think I would, I referenced, some past precedent, if you will. I think it's just worth pointing out that I don't believe we've ever had a situation, certainly not in as long as I can remember, where a sitting vice president who was prepared to serve wasn't given the opportunity to serve. So I want to point that out, and then let's,
Except for me.
no, that's not
You
true.
declined your nomination when you were nominated.
We're not.
And then-
No.
We're not interested. We don't need to discuss that.
No, you were the sitting vice president, and then you continued to be vice president, and then
That's correct.
the following year, you chose not to continue as vice president.
I think
The
we can go over
point
this
is
at a
moved.
different time and
Sure.
Thank
let's
you.
live in the
Whatever.
present. So
Let's
That's
focus
fine.
on
do we
forward.
have
Let's go ahead and do that.
further discussion?
I feel that Ally will represent us well as vice president, and in addition, she received the most votes in the public election that we've most recently had. She also has 5 children who participate in activities all the time, and I think will be an excellent representative.
I would agree with all of that.
So we'll start with, any other comments? Okay, then a motion to elect Commissioner Duffy as vice president of the board?
So moved?
Second.
And we'll call the roll on that one. Commissioner Kozlowskis?
No.
Commissioner Clark?
No.
Commissioner Goble?
No.
Commissioner Murdoch?
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier?
No.
Commissioner Duffy?
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy?
No.
I would like to make a motion to nominate Commissioner Frazier as vice president.
Is there a second on that?
I'll second.
Any discussion? I'll call
I
the
would,
roll.
again, I would echo Commissioner Commissioner Coble's comments, forgive me. I think she'll make an excellent vice president.
I'll call the roll. Commissioner Kozlowskis?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Murdoch?
Yes.
Commissioner Duffy?
No.
Commissioner Frazier?
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right. Moving.
Hang on a second.
I know.
You should rotate.
I don't have any more work.
I understand.
Do you need a motion for 3.0?
We're moving real quick, but sure.
Oh, thank you.
If someone wants to make the motion to appoint the secretary, assistant secretary, and the treasurer.
Sure.
I
I'm-
moved. Okay.
Second.
Okay.
Are there any
Congratulations.
questions or comments?
Discussion? None being seen? Can we call it?
It's a roll call.
Oh, it is?
I'm sorry, it's all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
That was
Aye.
everyone saying aye.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I I never actually read the full motion, so for the
Yeah.
avoidance of doubt, let me read
Let's
the
do
full
it.
motion,
Okay.
3.0. I move to approve the appointment of Margaret Resnick for the office of secretary, Michelle Parson as assistant secretary, and Sheila Foy as treasurer.
I second.
Okay, now let's do that. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 4.0.
I move to approve the appointment of Tressler LLP as the Wilmette Park District Legal Counsel.
Discussion? Oh, second, sorry.
Second.
New to this? Seeing no discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
I move to adjourn the 2025 annual board meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, meeting adjourned. And we're back.
And we're back.
It is May 12th, 2025, and this is a regular meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners. Margaret, if you call the roll. Or-
Commissioner Duffy,
Present.
Commissioner Kozlowskis,
Here.
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Goebel,
Here.
Murdoch,
Here.
Commissioner Frazier,
Here.
Commissioner Leahy.
Here. 2.0, move to approve, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda of the May 12th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of Park Commissioners, a copy of which is to be attached to and become a permanent part of the minutes of the meeting.
Second.
Any discussion?
The only discussion I have, I asked Superintendent Foy and Executive Director Resnick some questions about the purchasing policy, which they clarified for me, and I thank you guys very much for that. So other than that, I am fine with it.
All right.
Commissioner Duffy,
Yes.
Commissioner Kozlowskis,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Goebel,
Yes.
Commissioner Murdoch,
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier,
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy.
Yes. Consent agenda is approved. On to 3.0, communications and correspondence. Little script here. So if you plan to address the board tonight, we ask that you please come up to the podium and speak into the microphone. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes. We will notify you when we have 1 minute remaining and 30 seconds remaining. And when you're out of time, we will notify you by holding up a sign and giving you a verbal cue. Everything said during the meeting tonight is recorded and available and broadcast on Channel 6. Please note that the full policy for public comment is printed on page 3 of the packet. Thank you. In order to maintain a respectful and efficient meeting, we limit public comment to 3 minutes. The purpose of public comment is for the public to share their comments and/or concerns with the board. Due to time constraints of our business meeting, there is no time for dialogue. When possible, the board will address the questions at the end of the meeting. If you have a specific question that is not addressed, please email the executive director. I'd like to remind everyone, as always, that we are a community of neighbors, and as such, we want our meetings to be as civil and courteous as possible. So on the sign-up sheet tonight, we have 2 names. Is there anyone that would like to speak that's not on the sign-up sheet? Then Alan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Alan Golden, 2516 Laurel Lane. Just to reiterate, yesterday, or last weekend, was the most important day in the Park District calendar. The Sailing Beach opened. And I would like to publicly thank staff for having the beach in really excellent condition. For those of us who brought our boats down, or the boats that were already there, I was actually down there again today. The beach was being raked, which really needs to be done about once a week. But again, I just want to say thank you very much to the staff for having the beach in really excellent shape this year. I will be sending some written correspondence about some suggestions I have to help improve safety, but not in, I'll send them to you in writing. But again, very quick, I just wanted to publicly say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Thank you.
Susan? Susan Hemmerin? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Susan Hemmerin. I live at 420 Linden Avenue. And I spoke to the board last season about my concerns about the effect on the changes in South Beach on people with disability. I am myself a person with a disability. And my concerns were for both people with disabilities having access, and also concerns as a taxpayer about possible exposure to liability that the village might be facing for failure to comply with the ADA. The major problem I spoke about before was that the building of the artificial dunes and the fences had basically cut off the ability of disabled people to have visual access to the beach, either on benches or from a car parked in the lot. Now, one of the changes which has happened, proposed for next year, of widening the entry spaces and having some benches there, is a step in the right direction. It's also the case that opening up the tiny little cove as a free beach is also a step in the right direction, but it presents some issues for disability access. For one thing, it is not close to parking. A second thing is I'm not sure whether you're planning on putting an accessibility mat at that location, but without that, that would be difficult for people to access for.
1 minute.
Okay. It is small. It's also quite busy if it's being used for unmotorized boat access, and is quite close to the dog beach. So if we have a small area through which boats are transiting and there's an active dog beach next to it, I think there's a potential for it being a very unfriendly place for disabled people who might have trouble with mobility, who might tend to get in the way or be knocked over. And I really see this as a potential liability issue. And I must say that I have not been impressed recently about the ability of the board to protect the village of Wilmette from potential lawsuits.
Thank you, Susan. Are there any other speakers? That's fine.
Hi, I'm Connie Siegel. Sorry I got here late. There's no sign-in pin over there. Anyway, I just want to add to what the lady just said. I agree with everything she said. The cove doesn't appeal to me. I've been there when a dog has went out in the water and run up aggressively with my own daughter. So that cove does not appeal to me personally. But what I wanted to ask is, because I know you made some adjustments in the times for now for, I think you said admission, they're going to start having admission at 10 a.m. Is that correct? To accommodate people who want to walk and stuff without, all the other activities. I'm requesting that you also think about the people who cannot walk out in the sunlight and need to walk in the evening on a hot summer day, people especially with disabilities on certain medications and other things. If you would give some consideration to also either extending the hours it's open till after you close for swimming and such and fees, so that those of us who've lived here for a long time, many of us have gone down there for years in the evenings and enjoyed it once the sun is going low in the sky and we can enjoy the views and the quiet. That's my request. Thank you.
Thank you, Connie.
Patrick, President Leahy, could Director Resnick or could one of us clarify the access about walking at the beach, that it's always available? Or shall I?
The fact that you can walk on
Yes.
the beach, you could walk on the beach at any point of time if you're not going to be entering the water? Oh, I see what you're saying.
But then
Then what does it matter?
what's?
We can get Dave, and your specific concerns can be addressed. We'll take a note and see if maybe we'll get a chance to answer them later. Seeing no other public comment, we'll move on to item 5, staff reports.
So in my report, Canal Shores lease amendment has already been approved. That was in the consent agenda. The Hibbert Park construction contract, this is the bid that was opened last week for the construction of some renovations at Hibbert Park, a new playground, 6 pickleball courts, some field renovations. We were very pleased with the bids that came in. There were 8 bidders, which the landscape architect thought was a very healthy turnout for this time of year. And the low bid is from a responsible bidder and came in below our budget. So we're very pleased with both of those things. Under my next item, board recognition, I don't know if anyone saw this. It was in the Illinois State Magazine for Parks and Recreation. But President Kauslauskas, Commissioner Kauslauskas, she was president at the time, was recognized by the Illinois Association of Park Districts for being a notable board member. And this means that she took some extra steps to go to some workshops, some seminars, read different articles and books on boardmanship. So congratulations on that. And I think her intention is to go to the next level in the next year, if she has time. And then last in my report, I wanted to say that on Friday, April 4th, Cook County Circuit Judge Michael B. Barrett dismissed with prejudice a civil lawsuit filed against the Wilmette Park District and former Executive Director Steve Wilson. The matter is officially resolved now that more than 30 days has passed without further legal action. The Wilmette Park District is pleased by the court's decision to dismiss the case and appreciates the clarity and finality provided by the court's ruling. And that is my report.
That's your report.
Just want to say congratulations once again. None of us knew that, and thank you for your efforts to be recognized.
All right.
Choose to fill.
5-2, Parks and Planning. Josh, is this your first time in front of it?
Yes.
Welcome, Josh.
Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to take the moment to provide a brief update of some key projects and progress made over the past month. With summer around the corner, seasonal operations are well underway. The pools have been cleaned and filled, and we did the first startup of the pool heaters, and that went successfully. We are on track and ready for the season's opening. At Gilson Beach, the sail fence has been installed to help manage and protect the dune area. In addition, several memorial benches and trees have been ordered and installed across park sites in alignment with requests. Happy to say at Gilson Beach today, they started paving, so that project is well underway. Substantial completion is scheduled to be done by the end of this week with, we anticipate all the punch list items will be complete by May 23rd. So we're keeping on schedule, ahead of summer. And finally, CRC, the materials have landed for the solar project installation. They have been arriving. We started today. So this marks an exciting milestone as we move forward with our sustainability initiatives. So,
Great.
thank you.
Well done.
I will just point the pictures in the packet of the pool before you cleaned and then the very blue. It's like, ooh. Yes, it looks much nicer.
Any questions? Seeing none?
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
5-3, Golf Report.
Hi, everybody. We'll be even more brief than usual this week because we will be providing a preview to the season and a little more detailed update at the next COW, where we'll do a presentation and be able to offer some photos of the conditions of the golf course and some before and after photos. So we'll look forward to that at our next meeting. To start the season, the golf course is in excellent condition. We're really happy with how it came through the winter. All the playing surfaces have been mowed, detailed, and received good comments from the community members. Our leagues are all up and going. Both men's and women's leagues have started. Permanent tee times have started. Real high turnout in all those areas. Everybody's very happy with the golf course. This past weekend was really the first time it kind of felt like golf season. There's been lots of northeast winds, lots of, I can report winter hat and hoodie sales are way up to start 2025. We're 2,000 rounds behind the record-breaking season of 2024, but revenues in all areas seem to be in line with budget for 2025, so no concerns there. And our programming has all kicked off this past weekend with junior golf. We've met with the NSSRA leaders, and the Gator Golf program starts this week, and everything is on track there. And like I said, we'll get a detailed report in the next COW meeting, including a presentation from the superintendent. So, any questions about golf?
Got one real quick question. 2,000 rounds. How many rounds a day? So how many days in essence are
A lot of it was opening.
late, right?
Yeah, we opened the earliest date ever in 2024.
Right.
March 3rd, and then we had that warm weather so early. We did over 50,000 rounds last year, which was our record. So, like I said, 2,000 rounds behind record pace, but on pace as the days have been full. We've definitely seen a small percentage of a downtick with Winnetka opening. You know, we did have some members and some people that played regularly. The Winnetka Park District Golf Course is their first season open after being closed for close to 2 years, and it is excellent condition, and people are going over there to check it out, which is great. But it is like I said, a nominal downtick in some different parts of the tee sheet. But packed weekend all weekend, we feel good about the season, and everything is in line with plan as of right now.
Sorry.
Great.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
It's not working.
5-4. Superintendent Merrill.
I don't have a lot to elaborate on beyond what's in the report, other than another cool, good feeling thing with our Dance Alliance. Went to their competitions and they killed it too. A lot of great things happening with our dance team, so that's a lot of fun. Maybe we can pull off another social media kind of thing that we did for our gymnasts, which was also really cool to see out there. The month of April, aside from all the work that everyone's been doing to get prepared for what we're currently doing and then moving forward, but aside from all of that work, our staff has been working really hard to be prepared for camp and the summer program, getting our training manuals, all those types of things ready to go. I'm very happy and proud of the way that we've worked with all the departments in the district, whether it's with IT or with hiring, or it's with facilities, getting everything ready to go. Like, really, everyone has been working really well together to get us to a really great point to be ready for the start of the season. So we're really excited about where we're at right now, and it's part of it is due to the hard work that everyone put in through the last month, through the month of April. So, questions about the rec report?
Two things I would note. Please extend welcome to looks like you have 2 new staff that started, so please welcome them. Congrats to your gymnastics and dance teams. And I was so pleased to see this note about the library passes. I saw it also, I believe it was on, maybe I didn't see it on social media, maybe I saw it on the Explore More draft that's coming. But you mentioned it here, the Beach Bound Pass program, so that free daily passes for the main swimming beach can be reserved by those with library passes from Wilmette, Niles, Skokie, Evanston, and Morton Grove. So thank you for making that dream a reality, and that's another exciting thing. I just wanted to make sure people see that buried in the packet.
Sure. And Connor McCormick, who's our lakefront park supervisor, he took that project on and ran with it and really did some great things. And that's connects to also another great meeting that we had with the library themselves about connecting all of these different programming ideas that we can share together. And that was a connection that we made, a reason for us to really start talking, and it's kind of blossomed into a bunch of other directions that we can go with the library as we move forward. So
I love to see that partnership. That's great, and it'll
Yeah.
bring a lot of people.
Another kudos to staff retention and development. It's my understanding that one of your preschool co-directors is receiving a higher education degree in early childhood education. So the fact that we have hired and retained staff who are pursuing higher education goals is fantastic. And it's proven in here that the program continues to grow and benefit all of the other programs in the system too. So
yeah,
great.
We're proud of Rachel. She's in Arizona right now,
Yeah.
accepting her or getting her diploma. So
yeah, that's great.
very cool. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. 5-5, operations. Superintendent Thomas.
Hello. So just a few things to note within my report. As you guys know, we went down to Springfield, Superintendent Foy, Director Margaret, and Director
Dr.
Margaret and I, we all went down there, and we had some really great conversations. We were able to meet with a couple of our legislators, and they're going to be, even though it's busy season now, we have it on the schedule to follow back up later in May to have some in-person discussions, and just kind of find ways that we can continue to help support them down in Springfield, and then see ways that they can continue to help support us. So those connections are made and relationships are being built, which is great. We have a lot going on in all of our areas, lots of hiring that's still happening. We're really rounding out all of the summer hiring and getting everybody onboarded and ready to start their summer seasons. As we all know, everything going on down at South Beach and at Gilson, we have over 100 new signs that we have printed off and that are going to be installed. So things that clearly state all of our rules or ordinances, where entrances and exits are going to be. So those will be going in this week and next week as time allows. And it'll be really nice to just kind of see a whole fresh new look down there with the roads and the new fence, post and rope. So hopefully those will be well received and informative to the public that visits down there. We have our annual report. There was some discussion about adding our annual report into the May edition of Explore More. Due to the amount of views we've seen online, we have over 700 views online of the report, so we didn't feel like the additional cost was necessary to print it and include it with the next version of Explore More. You guys all got to see a little sneak peek of that, and it'll be in mailboxes the week of May 19th, so please be on the lookout for those. Other than that, in sustainability, we've had a great Earth Day at K event, and then the new compost drop-off pilot program locations are being finalized with some QR codes and signage on them when they get posted that will direct people with any questions or concerns to reach out to Lucy over at the Village, who's our sustainability coordinator. So as you see those pop up, they'll be at some park locations and then some Village locations, and it'll be a really nice way to provide a composting drop-off location for residents in the Village who don't necessarily want to have the composting program at their home, or might not have enough to make it make sense for them to have another bin. So that's an exciting venture where her position again helps all of the entities collaborate and coordinate together. So that's really all I have, unless you have any other questions.
The WOW.
Oh, yeah.
The
WOW swim.
Oh, the WOW. I'm like, wow, yes,
Wow.
wow. Composting is really going. The WOW swim, yes, coming up on June 14th. The WOW swim will be coming up for the Wilmette Foundation, so they have some pretty great towels that we got delivered. I really want to spoil the color, but I don't think
It's
that
in
I
the
can do
packet.
that.
Yeah, but you
It's
don't want to
ice.
Well, then you have to read it to figure it out.
Scavenger hunt.
But we have them delivered today a little early, so we were able to snap some photos and see them, which is really fun. So there's definitely still space available for that swim. So the water's not that cold. Come on and join us. It'll be fun. And then 2 weeks later, we have the Back the Bowl Bash. So that'll be a lot of fun. We have a lot of local bands that will be playing for that. We have DJ Jeff Pazin, who's going to be kicking us off. Then we have the band The Herd, Blue Orbit Combo, and then our headliner, Antler Chandelier, who I'm sure many of us in this room and out there watching know some member of one of those bands. So that'll be a lot of fun to have. New this year, it'll be all inclusive, so food and drink included. So you just pay one ticket price and then come on in and enjoy. Wow. Yeah, so tickets are online and available. So scan a QR code or just do a little Google search, and I'm sure you'll get there. But
Well, I did have one more comment. I was going to save it for the end of the meeting, but since you mentioned cold water, I wanted to commend the staff. I saw out on social media that we had some ice bucket challenge participation. Since you're standing here, we'll go ahead and call you out.
A
'cause I
couple
saw
of them,
you
I
there,
think, in the room.
with a couple other staff, and I loved how you connected it to the Well Met campaign that's going on right now, which is another intergovernmental cooperation that we're partnering with. And so thank you to the staff that were brave enough to enjoy that brisk dunk.
yeah, it wasn't that cold. It was fun. Yeah, we had a little
I mean, you're
bit of
polar
a
plunge experts.
a
So.
Nerf challenge against the admin team versus the rec team. And although the admin team won, I will get that on record, we are still good sports, and I participated in the Ice Bucket Challenge. So we still haven't heard back from Northbrook. We challenged them. So Northbrook, you're out there. We're waiting for you to
They're watching.
to bring it on. Yes, I'm sure they are. It's thrilling. So anything else?
No, thank you.
Also,
Awesome.
congrats on filling those roles. I know you have a couple of roles filled and a couple of more to go, which is
Yes,
great.
we are. It's a process, but we're getting there, and sometimes it takes a little longer to review everything and make sure we have all the correct descriptors in place for each job, and we're moving along. So
I actually do have one other staff call out to the positive. Some of this posting activity and marketing information, I just want to commend JP McNamara for his style of communication. It's clearly working in our community. People have asked us for more to get ahead of messaging, and I think he's doing a fantastic job, as is evidenced by our click-through and open rates.
yeah, and when we readjusted and relooked at the marketing department as a whole, we defined their roles out. When COVID happened, everybody kind of just did all the things to support each other. Both Natalie and Allison were kind of doing each other's work just to assist each other, and they both learned a lot, but it kind of melded the roles a little bit too much together. So when JP came on, he looked and really split them up into more graphic design and then social media. So Natalie is the one that does all of our awesome posters, puts together our newsletter, and does a lot of our graphics. And then Mariana's the one that's been really kicking it into high gear with all the social posts. So it's been really, really great to see all of them work together, and it's just seamless. They have conversations and they know what's going on, and all their work is definitely showing through. So thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Superintendent Foy.
Last meeting stole all
You
my
get your
thunder.
hour of special attention. ahead
So
of time.
I do want to go on record stating that the lake is cold, okay? Just saying, okay? We know that the March financials were still ahead of budget. One of the big reasons why we're ahead of budget in revenue is because we accelerated the collection of camp payments 1 month. We should see that timing even out at the end of May, okay? The capital expenditures are ahead of budget due to payments made for Lakefront, Langdon, and Hibbard. The budget for those were March, or May, but we've had some March payments for them. So that's what we're off there. The electricity commodity, I just wanted to share the price that we finally did get. It was 4.26 cents. I think that's how the math goes. The decimal is 0.04266. And all the contracts are signed. We're just waiting for bills and everything to transfer over so we can start seeing all of that. I think the contracts, they don't have them all on the same timeline. Some start around May 24th and they go through June 3rd. So that's kind of how it works. Don't know why it's set up that's way. That's
And
the way
this is related to solar?
No, this
I
is our
wasn't sure,
electricity.
because I wanted to,
Right.
it sounded like a lot of administrative stuff, but
Yeah,
if it's
so,
not, we're
and this
fine.
is, we locked this in for 2 years.
Right.
Okay, the P card with Fifth Third, the paperwork is moving on that. We're gonna be meeting with them, I think at the end of this week to figure out the rollout plan for everyone to get all new P cards that we're gonna move from JP Morgan to Fifth Third Bank. Obviously, the procurement policy's been updated. Tonight, I will implement everybody's changes since it's been approved. And you know what's happening with audit? We hired a new accounting manager. Her name is Diane Hins. She comes from the Evanston, Skokie School District, 65, I think it is. And she started April 28th, and she's working on getting up to speed on what we do in the area. Okay, does anybody have any questions? No? None?
Extend welcome to her from us
Yeah,
as well.
I will
yes,
do
well done
that,
on the
yeah.
hiring.
Can
It's great.
Curiosity, that you've got the 4.266 cent. What is that, per therm? per-
Yes, so whatever that
Per kilowatt hour,
slash
probably.
KW, whatever the
Yeah.
rest of the,
Yeah, it's just not in here, that's why I was
Yeah,
asking what it is. And then what were we paying? So
so
what's
we
the
were
change?
paying, consolidated rate of both the delivery costs and the commodity cost. And that consolidated rate was I do have that, 0.0636.
But the rates were coming in with a combined rate of 0.081. So what I decided was, and I did this based on some advice from one of the brokers, he said that we should pay our direct costs because the commodity broker will not be adding their add-on, whatever their add-on is to that particular rate. So we decided to do what we've done previously, just pay for the commodity and then pay for the direct costs as they come in.
So in layman's terms, ComEd, we get a ComEd bill, we get their delivery charge and this rate charge. Whereas before, it was billed to us differently with a broker fee involved in there.
Right, so we're going to be paying the commodity fee to the broker, the AEP, which is the commodity delivering broker, I guess is what they're called. We will also be paying Commonwealth Edison for their delivery. Not sure if it's going to come in a consolidated bill. I've seen it done both ways. So, but the reason why I think this is going to work out well for us is because of all these credits we're going to be getting from the solar farm, because we can use those against delivery fees. So I'm kind of excited about that.
So I got a little bit confused with what you were just saying before the solar part. I thought you said that we were not having this broker fee involved, but you just said we were having the broker fee added on.
So the broker is the commodity broker, the gas commodity broker. That's what we're going to be paying the AEP who's won the contract.
Yeah.
We will be paying them for the commodity.
Right.
They just happen to be a commodity broker. Then we're going to be paying Commonwealth Edison for the delivery fees.
Right.
So the combination of those two, I hope, is less than 0.081.
Yeah.
All
right.
I think what Superintendent Foy was saying was if we put them together through the commodity broker would probably mark up the delivery rate that we're
Right.
paying
I see.
ComEd.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so
Correct? Is
another
that right?
one who bid it on, someone who bid it on our, bid it on the business had said you probably want to split those two so you're not paying a markup on the delivery.
Now
also.
I understand. Okay.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Cool.
Anything else? Awesome.
Thank you.
Sure.
6.0, unfinished business. There being none, we move on to new business, 7.0.
I move to approve staff recommendation of the low bid on the Hibbard Park Osled development.
Second.
Discussion.
I had, prior to the meeting, asked Josh, our new superintendent of Parks and Planning, if he had ever experienced a time when we did not, or he had never experienced going with the lowest bid. Because sometimes you get a couple low bids, and why didn't we? Now, in this event, we did go with the low bid. And I asked if it was his experience. He said, no, it was experience with Upland, who recommended this provider. So it was interesting to me just kind of getting into the thought process of how we end up where we are. Because, sometimes is the lowest bid the best provider.
Isn't that this case? Is that just
That's according to Upland Design, this is the provider we should go with based on some previous experience of theirs.
Could someone review what alternate 1 and alternate 2 were? I don't recall.
Yes, I'm going to remember off the top. Alternate 1 was, and I might flip these, one of the alternates is fencing, instead of fixing up and prettying up the fencing we have, adding new fencing. And the second alternate is to use sod instead of seed.
For the baseball.
Yes.
Baseball or pickleball fencing?
The fencing was around the play area, if I remember rightly.
I would
Rightly,
have to check if
correctly.
it's around the ball fields or the play area.
Okay.
I'm not sure, honestly.
I seem to recall because we,
That sounds right, Patrick.
around that play area, the play
Superintendent.
apparatus area, because we weren't doing the water feature
Yes.
inside that area, but we had to address the fence. That's what I thought. But I also recall something about the fencing, the backstop fencing, but I thought that was part of the project without it not being an option.
I'll find out and report back to all of you.
Thank you so much.
I'm pleased to see there were 8 bids, because in recent times, we've had 2 and 3 choices. So
We're all fairly
I think
close.
this is going in the right direction in terms of more competition.
And again, they were all,
And from our Langdon contractor too, I think. Keno, was that?
Yeah.
Yep.
They were the high bid.
Okay. Should we
Roll call?
vote? Yes, please.
Commissioner Duffy?
Yes.
Commissioner Kaslowskis?
Yes.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Goble?
Yes.
Commissioner Murdoch?
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier?
Yes.
Commissioner Leahy?
Yes. Motion passes. This is exciting. Move to adjourn the regular meeting of the, well, can I?
I move to adjourn the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners this May 12th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.